Hello everyone. So I was thinking to create a horror game, and in this episode I will show how to create the structure behind it. So mainly our game will be an interior one, so I will make sure to start on create instead of create from scratch. Hear my voice. Okay, let's see from where. In this episode I will show how to create the structure behind it. So mainly our game will be an interior one. Alright, found it. Alright, so we want to go for flat. I will choose massive world size and then raise the terrain height to maximum so we can create interiors. There's no need to have a theme for now. And I will choose day for now. Let's see if we can find first person shooter advanced. Maybe that's the one. Let's see. No, it's not this one. So for this I will choose first person shooter advanced because it has some nice things I can use. Let's check how it looks. Let's set up the world first. We don't want any ambient sound or music. Then we'll have to modify this guy to be something like an adventure first person rather than shoot stuff. Remove everything from the HUD. This one too. We won't need a weapon, I will create my own. So now here's a nice little trick I will do. So we need to determine what our character will be. So our character would be a prisoner for this game. Maybe I can trick this guy. We just need the mess, so I will delete everything. Alright, let's fix this guy to be more like a prisoner. Okay, so this is our character, but the real character will be this. Now we'll attach it to Taurus. So this is our character. Okay, so let's simulate how we would look in in game, so we're sure it doesn't collide with the walls or his torch doesn't look weird. So what I'm gonna do is gonna add a wall. Okay, so this is our character now. Still, we have to sort out the collision. There we go. Right. You see there is a gap before going into a wall. That will be useful when we have our torch, so it doesn't overlap with the wall. Can also crouch now because I use the shooter advanced brain. I can also run. Alright. The reason I have two versions of the character is that when we're gonna use first person camera that shows the body, we'll switch to this guy, but when we're going for the normal game mode kind of mesh, we need this guy. Alright. So now we need to set up some basic mechanics. First of all, let's do a respawn system. So in order to do that, we need to have three things. This will be our kill zone. I'm not gonna use the player tile, I'm gonna use my own. It's always recommended to do that. Okay, so we have a kill zone. We now need a checkpoint. Checkpoints in this game will not indicate that this is a checkpoint. It will work incognito, because this is not a game that you would see you got a checkpoint. So let's set up the trigger zone. Wrong side. Always do stuff in relation to the forward vector of the object, so you know where the trigger zone is if you don't see it. Forward vector is the green arrow facing direction for all objects. Alright, so now object variable named checkpoint, and this will show which checkpoint we have activated. Actually, I want this to happen only once. Alright. We need to set 2 more variables, vector variables. One will be player position, and then we have player direction. Also, it's nice to clean up some stuff. It's were loaded from previous brains. Still used, alright. Okay, we're cool. Okay, so this is a checkpoint now. Let's name it checkpoint so we can see it inside the editor. It's also good to color code stuff. Alright. It's also good to have a different object be your brain rather than the mess. So I will have this be the player brain instead. And this will be game mess. So we don't confuse stuff. This is a template. Alright, so we need to initialize stuff first. So we're gonna say global player position equals position. So we have a starting point. Same goes with direction. And then we'll do a simple kill mechanic. So when it's dead, I'm going to create a new page called death logic. So when it's dead, I need to fade the screen for like 2 seconds. And after 2 seconds, I will from revive because we don't have. Well, you can use revive, but this is an alternative way to do it. So we'll instantly put the health to max health, and then switch to the global position once the vectors we just created. Actually, you know what? Because this is going to mess up our camera later on, I will do something else. I will create one huge load skip here. I'm gonna color code it to the craziest colors I can find. And call this general logic. So let me say my global player is dead. Store the player into a local variable and say which one is it. For us it's this guy. So when he's dead, I'm gonna destroy it, then create it again. Set his direction. Don't need death logic anymore. We'll have this guy do the fade transition. Hey Soph, how's it going? Long time no see, right? So yeah, let's do this. We'll do it similar way as we did the player brain. So we're gonna fade 2 seconds. also need to state that this guy is the global player. And test as a failsafe. Before we set this guy to the global player, we destroy in case something has been still in the game world. Alright, let's see if this works. Alright. Detect. I will say bump. Oops. Yeah, this one should be global player. Yeah, by the way, after like 3 or 4 episodes where there will be a solid state that we work on, this will be less inappropriate for children because it's gonna be a horror game. So don't expect me to be to hold back on that. Alright, so let's try. Alright, so in order to test, I'll just place it here. I'll make it into a template. Oh, that's unfortunate. So off. So is it fixed now? So now we have a fully working respawn system. Has a nice effect as well, which we will use for the whole horror thing. So now we need to create an interaction system. So what I mean by that is that, let's say you have a lever which is here. Let's just put a lever here, just as a test. And you want to interact with it only when you see it, but not from the other side of the wall. this is what we're gonna do now. So as you can see, it's simple, has interacted, toggle has power. So now we'll just I have to erase the one we have now because it's not gonna be detection. I'm just gonna ignore it in case we need something from it. So what I'm gonna do is gonna raycast from camera position. Direction camera forward. Objects only. And I'm gonna do that for let's see, we have to count. I'm not sure how much radius we want to do. So let's say it starts from here. We need to do 1.5 meter maximum. So length 1.5. Right, so when this is done, I would say it's not sure if this can work, but it's worth a try. Doesn't always work though. It's not very precise. It does work though, which is fine. Let's try it with smaller objects. See how it looks. Oh yeah, good call. Okay, so we're here. Yeah, it won't work from the other. I'll keep pressing it. It won't work from the other side of the wall because I said objects only. So if it's terrain in the middle of the raycast, it won't work. Okay, so, and as you can see, I have to go really close for it to work. I can say 2 meters, but I think 1.5 is good. Alright, let's do another simple test just to be sure. Let's see if it can work. If it can work from the other side of the wall. Maybe I need to do it 2 meters. Looks like. Yeah, I definitely need to do 1 more meter. Yeah, as you can see, it's very precise. My cursor is not the best though. There's something I cannot fix, like this whole movement. It's very, I don't know how to say, very fast, I think, but I can't fix that. But yeah, it works fine. See, yeah, this one is a bit better now, as you can see. Alright, so I think we've done this a bit too quick. I was expecting this to take me another half an hour. So let's move on. Let's what else do we have? Oh yeah, let's do a walking sound animation. So I want to keep things organized, so I would create a new page called sounds. And call it from here. Alright, so when moving and turn ground, I'll create my own sound. We'll try this as a test because the prisoner has some sort of chain kind of thing. I don't know how it's called. But he was chained into something using this weird device anyway. So yeah, I will use this one for now. We'll see how it looks. Make it overlap, be everywhere. Fast. 1.75? You mean the radius? Or do you mean the countdown? Well, I'm sure you don't mean the countdown, you mean the radius. No, I think oh, you don't have access. Oh, that's bad. Maybe 0.35. So we made this one. Sounds okay. Maybe we can tone it down a bit to like 70, and then I will use a different sound for sprinting. It's gonna be 0.2 and a bit louder, actually, like this. and then I'm gonna have some panting of the character. It's gonna be like alright, and we want to have that panting after 5 seconds, so it doesn't do that instantly. So like when you run, after 5 seconds, it starts to get tired. And another cool thing we can do with sounds, we can actually add it here, is we can simulate the bobbing of the camera by having camera shake with very high strength with very low speed. Five is too long, you think? Alright. Yeah, I think you're right. 0.5 sounds good. Alright, so no, actually, it's the opposite. This should be 40 and this should be 10. Alright, so when you run, it's not nearly, you can really see it, right? Let's say 20. Speed is too low, that's why it's not bobbing right. Yeah, that's true. Still, let's make the speed a bit more. Alright, so now that this is done, we need to have a new mechanic which nobody uses. It's the vision sensor. This is why I was holding this off for a horror game, because vision sensor is super useful for horror games. The reason is if you really want to create something scary, then make sure the player is watching, because if he's not, he's gonna miss it. It's not an easy thing to do though. So I will have to tweak this a bit before it works. So let's make an example of a horror scene, right? So let's say you're coming here, and when you look on this side, there's something popping up. So let's see if this can work. I will create a zombie. Yes, it's gonna be a zombie head. Yeah, well, let's say for me, I'm not using vision sensor too much. Paste. Alright. So I'm gonna say when in trigger zone. Great. Yeah, well, that's why I'm gonna use basic 0, so I don't bother with all that stuff. Okay, so we want the player to come here, and only when he looks at this logic cube, then it will trigger the event. Oh, come on. Can't even select the thing. Alright, fine. Boom. So as long as I'm not looking there, it will not spawn it, which is a good thing. Let's try to test the system. Let's say I'm moving like this. Yeah, it will work. But if I'm moving like this, boom. Alright, let's put the sound as well, so we know it's there, because they might spawn it in a... I'm not sure if it will. Not right now. No, I'm not in the projectspark.org chat. But I am a mod there. Although I don't visit there lately. Okay, so let's see if this works. Oh, wait. Great. Oh yeah, forgot. If you're playing the old Stingers, like this guy, you need to play it for the duration. Otherwise it won't play. This is where Andrew. Oh, it's too long. Ah, no worries. Yeah, I'm trying to test some things for the horror game. Alright, so what else? Alright, we will need some sort of text to indicate to just write a bit of story and stuff. Can't believe I have all the mechanics ready yet. Alright, yeah, like this one as is. Right, let's do... I was thinking how to do the text. I was thinking either to do a custom text or do... Custom text would be fairly hard. Alright. Let's make an example here. Switch back today. Say when to text. Well, we can, but it's very time consuming. Yeah, this stream is for making a horror game. I'm just doing some sort of episodes. In this episode I'm just nailing down all the core of the game. You know, I could use something custom made, but it would be a mess. Like I could use this guy. This guy. See how it looks. So this is a custom font, custom UI basically. let's set the carousel there. It's a bit big. Alright. So the next thing to do is to create some sort of test cutscene. So that we can use the other character. this looks. So I want to simulate a fall down animation that you can also see your body when you reach the trigger zone. Normally it would not have controls, but I'm gonna add them just to see how it looks. Things I don't like is the camera doesn't rotate well. Oh, that's why. It's because I have installed before Direction. Also the emote is a test one, like I won't use this emote in the game, I will use my own, but for now I think it works fine. Don't like the saints in height though. Okay. I should not be able to see inside the head as well, but that's gonna be a fixed camera, so I think it's fun. So I think that's all for setting out our base. We have a checkpoint system, respawn system, interaction system, sensor system, test methods, and a cutscene one. I think that's what we will need for the game. Well, if anything else pops up, we'll just make it on the spot, but I think that's the main ones. So the next time I will be building the areas of the game, which is gonna be based in here. I'm gonna lower the water and just build rooms. It's gonna be some sort of prison thing. So stay tuned for the next episode. It's gonna be the same time as this one. I don't know which day, probably tomorrow, but I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, thanks for watching. See you next time.